Leaders, for centuries, the world has told you what you cannot do. But today, I'm here to remind you of what you can do. The greatest power you hold is not outside of you. It is inside your mind, your heart, and your spirit. When a woman discovers her inner strength, she doesn't just change her own life, she transforms generations to come. Your mind is your greatest power, and yet most of us live our lives forgetting that truth. Every single thought you think is like a seed planted in the fertile soil of your future. If you water it with belief, attention, and repetition, it grows into a reality you will one day live in. If you allow negative thoughts, doubts, and fears to dominate your mind, then those too will grow, shaping experiences that mirror your inner world. Your external life is nothing more than a reflection of your internal state. And for a woman, this truth becomes even more profound because your mind does not just shape your own destiny. It influences the lives of those around you, your children, your families, your communities. When a woman learns to master her thoughts, she becomes unstoppable because she no longer reacts to the world, she creates the world. Think of how many times you've been told that you cannot do something, that you're not strong enough, not worthy enough, not capable enough. Those words were meant to plant weeds in your mind. But here's the beautiful truth here: your brain has the power to rewire itself. You are not condemned to the patterns of yesterday. Neuroscience tells us that the brain does not know the difference between a thought vividly imagined and an experience lived, which means that every time you imagine yourself as powerful, whole, worthy, loved, and free, your brain begins to reprogram itself. You create new circuits that override the old. This is why your mind is not just powerful, it is limitless. The moment you decide to direct your thoughts instead of being enslaved by them, you step into creation rather than reaction. You no longer wait for the world to validate you. You validate yourself. You no longer wait for circumstances to change. You change your state of being, and the circumstances follow. That is the law of the mind, as within, so without. And once you realize this, you stop giving your power away. You stop letting people's opinions, the past, or even your own fears dictate your destiny. You claim the steering wheel of your life. So, woman, remember this: you are not powerless. You are not defined by your struggles. You are not small. The greatest power you will ever hold is not found in the approval of others, in material possessions, or in the roles society gives you. It is in your mind, your ability to think differently, to believe in possibilities, to envision a future greater than your past, and to keep rehearsing that vision until it becomes your reality. That is your strength. That is your power. And when you live from this truth, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, you cannot create. You are not limited by the past, and yet so many of us walk through life chained to yesterday's pain, mistakes, and disappointments. Every memory, every wound, every failure can begin to feel like a permanent shadow, convincing you that what has been will always be. But the truth is, the past is only alive when you keep breathing life into it. Every time you replay the old story in your mind, you resurrect the pain and carry it forward into your present. But what if you could choose right now to stop letting yesterday dictate who you are today? What if you could release yourself from the weight of what has already happened and step into a future that looks nothing like your history? The past is not a life sentence, it is a lesson. Every hardship you faced, every betrayal, every moment you thought would break you was not meant to define you, but to refine you. It was shaping you, stretching you, and preparing you for the strength you carry now. You see, life has a way of using pain as a teacher. But too often, we mistake the lesson for the identity. We begin to call ourselves by the name of our wounds. I am broken. I am not enough. I am unworthy. Those words become a prison, and the key is in your own hands. You were never meant to stay in the prison of your past. You were meant to take the key, unlock the door, and walk into freedom. Science itself reminds us that the cells in your body are constantly renewing. Your brain is constantly rewiring, and your energy is constantly shifting. You are never the same person you were yesterday, which means that holding on to the past is like clinging to an old photograph and calling it your reality. The truth is, you are changing, you are evolving, and you have the power to consciously decide who you want to become. You are not doomed to repeat cycles unless you keep rehearsing them. You are not defined by what others did to you unless you let their actions continue to live inside your mind. You have the authority to say, yes, that was part of my story, but it is not the whole story. Yes, I was hurt, but I am not my hurt. Yes, I was rejected, but I am not unlovable. Yes, I failed, but I am not a failure. The moment you draw this line, you stop identifying with your past and start creating your future. The chains break not because the past disappears, but because you stop dragging it with you. You take the wisdom, the growth, the resilience, and you leave the pain where it belongs behind you. So hear this: you are not what happened to you. You are not the mistakes you made. You are not the pain you endured. You are the person who survived, who is still standing, who still has breath in her lungs and fire in her soul. And as long as you are alive, your story is still being written. The pen is in your hands now. Stop rereading the old chapters and start creating new ones that reflect who you truly are: powerful, limitless, and free. Self-love is not selfish, and yet so many women have been taught to believe that prioritizing themselves is a luxury or even a sin. From the earliest moments of life, you are told to care for everyone else first, to nurture, to serve, to sacrifice, while your own needs, desires, and dreams are quietly pushed aside. But here's the profound truth: self-love is survival. It is the foundation upon which everything else in your life is built. When you honor yourself, when you feed your mind with positive thoughts, your body with nourishing care, and your spirit with compassion, you are not just benefiting yourself, you are creating a ripple effect that touches everyone around you. A woman who loves herself fully is a beacon of strength, clarity, and inspiration. Too often, we confuse love with giving endlessly to others. We believe that love is only valid when it is selfless, when it comes at the expense of our own well-being. But love that drains you, that leaves you empty, is not love at all. It is obligation, it is duty, it is a shadow of what love truly is. Real love begins with yourself. When you cultivate self-love, you create an internal source of energy that cannot be depleted by circumstances or people. You build boundaries naturally, not as a punishment to others, but as an act of respect for your own life and your own needs. You learn to say yes to what feeds your soul and no to what diminishes it. Self-love is also about embracing your imperfections. Too many women carry a quiet shame, a belief that they are not enough, that they must fix themselves before being worthy of love. But the paradox is this: you are worthy now, not when you reach some imagined perfection. You are whole as you are, and the moment you fully accept that, something magical happens. Your energy shifts, your confidence expands, and your presence radiates in a way that others cannot ignore. People are naturally drawn to those who are aligned with their own value because it is authentic, magnetic, and unapologetically real. Furthermore, self-love gives you permission to pursue your dreams boldly. When you honor yourself, you recognize that your desires, ambitions, and passions are valid. You stop apologizing for taking space in the world. You stop minimizing your voice, your ideas, and your contributions. You begin to show up fully, knowing that your life is worth investing in. And the irony is, as you cultivate this love for yourself, your capacity to love others expands exponentially. You give not from a place of lack or need, but from a place of abundance and joy. So, woman, understand this deeply. Loving yourself is not a detour from life's purpose. It is the very path to it. When you treat yourself with kindness, honor your own heart, and nurture your own soul, you awaken the power within you that has always been there. You step into the fullness of your being, and in doing so, you become unstoppable. Self-love is not an act of indulgence. It is an act of courage, an act of wisdom, and the foundation of every meaningful life you will ever live. Your emotions are energy in motion, and they are far more powerful than most of us realize. Every feeling you experience is a signal, a message from your inner world, guiding you toward what is aligned with your highest self, or warning you when you are out of alignment. Yet too often, women have been taught to suppress their emotions, to be strong, to hide sadness, fear, or anger as if these natural currents of energy were weaknesses. But the truth is, emotions are not weaknesses. They are your superpower. They are the language of your body, your heart, and your subconscious mind constantly communicating with you about your desires, your boundaries, and your purpose. Learning to understand, honor, and direct your emotions is one of the greatest strengths you can cultivate. Imagine for a moment that every time you feel fear, doubt, or anger, you allow it to move through you instead of letting it control you. When you stop resisting, when you stop judging yourself for feeling, and instead acknowledge the emotion, it begins to flow. It begins to transform from a block into a source of energy that can fuel clarity, courage, and creation. The secret is not to avoid emotions, but to master them, to use them as tools rather than letting them become obstacles. You are not your emotions, you are the observer, the conscious creator who can decide how to respond, how to transform, and how to move forward. Your emotions also shape your reality far more than you know. Science shows that the body does not distinguish between what is imagined, remembered, or truly experienced. When you dwell in anxiety, stress, or resentment, your body and mind respond as if the threat is present, creating patterns of tension, illness, and limitation. Conversely, when you cultivate joy, gratitude, love, and hope, your entire being aligns with possibilities, healing, and growth. The energy you carry internally becomes the magnet for the circumstances you experience externally. This is why emotional mastery is not a luxury. It is the foundation for creating the life you desire. For women in particular, emotions have often been misunderstood or even stigmatized. Society has labeled passionate expression as too much or overly sensitive, teaching many to hide the very thing that makes them powerful. But your emotional energy is not something to apologize for. It is something to channel, to harness, and to transform into purpose. When you learn to do this, you stop giving your power away to situations or people. You stop being at the mercy of moods, setbacks, or the judgments of others. Instead, you begin to create a life that resonates with your deepest truth, a life that flows with possibility rather than struggle. So, woman, realize this: your emotions are not obstacles, they are guides. They are not burdens, they are gifts. Every time you feel deeply, you are connecting to the raw energy of creation itself. And when you learn to direct that energy, when you choose how it moves through you rather than allowing it to move you, you unlock a power that is beyond measure. Your emotions, once understood and mastered, become the engine of transformation, healing, and unstoppable strength. Resilience is your hidden gift, a strength that often goes unnoticed until life tests you in ways you never expected. Every challenge, every setback, every heartbreak you have endured has been quietly shaping the woman you are today, forging a power that cannot be seen on the surface, but is felt in the depths of your being. Life does not give us hardships to break us, it gives them to stretch us, to awaken a strength we may not have known existed. And yet, so often, we fail to recognize that resilience is not about enduring pain silently or pretending to be unshakable. True resilience is the ability to rise again and again, to heal, to adapt, and to continue moving forward with purpose and courage. Think about all the moments in your life when you felt like giving up, when the weight of circumstances pressed down on you, and yet somehow you kept going. That persistence is not random, it is the proof of resilience living inside of you. It is the quiet, powerful force that whispers, I can survive this, I can grow from this, I can rise above this. Resilience is not only the ability to endure, it is the ability to transform adversity into opportunity, to take experiences that could have broken you and use them as stepping stones toward your highest self. The challenges you have faced are not scars of weakness. They are marks of courage, evidence that you have been actively participating in the evolution of your own life. Resilience also means embracing the discomfort of growth. Life will always push against you. It will test your patience, your faith, and your belief in yourself. And yet, the woman who cultivates resilience learns to welcome these moments as teachers rather than enemies. She understands that pressure, pain, and resistance are necessary forces that refine her character, sharpen her mind, and expand her heart. Each time she falls and rises, she strengthens her capacity to face the next challenge with greater wisdom, greater confidence, and greater inner power. What many fail to see is that resilience is not a solitary act. It is interconnected with self-awareness, emotional mastery, and love. The woman who knows herself, who understands her emotions, and who nurtures her own worth can respond to life's trials not with despair, but with clarity. She can pivot, adapt, and even thrive in circumstances where others might crumble. Resilience is not about surviving in spite of life. It is about thriving because of it, transforming obstacles into catalysts for personal evolution. So, woman, recognize this deeply. Every time life has knocked you down, it has also been lifting you up in ways unseen. Every moment of struggle has been a hidden training ground for your inner strength. Resilience is not a passive trait, it is an active choice to rise, to heal, and to keep moving forward with faith and courage. It is your secret power, your hidden gift, and once you claim it fully, you will realize that there is no challenge, no obstacle, no force on earth that can diminish the greatness that already resides within you. Your body responds to your beliefs in ways that are more profound than most people realize, and for women, this truth carries extraordinary significance. Every thought you harbor, every expectation you hold, and every belief you repeat internally has a ripple effect on your physiology, your energy, and your overall health. Science now shows us that the mind and body are not separate entities. They are deeply interconnected. What you think, what you feel, and what you believe sends chemical messages throughout your body, shaping your hormones, your immune system, and even your cellular structure. The body is not just a vessel to carry you through life. It is a reflection of your inner state, a living mirror of your consciousness. Consider for a moment the countless times you have doubted yourself, questioned your worth, or carried fear, anxiety, or stress. Each of these mental and emotional states creates tension in your body, triggers the release of stress hormones, and can even weaken your immune system over time. Conversely, when you cultivate positive beliefs, when you choose to trust in your own power, when you embrace hope, gratitude, and love, your body responds in alignment with those thoughts. Your nervous system calms, your energy centers open, and your body begins to operate in a state of harmony rather than conflict. Belief is not just abstract, it is biological. For women, this connection between mind and body is deeply tied to creativity, intuition, and the very essence of life. The energy you hold within your beliefs flows through every cell and every organ, influencing not only your own health, but also the energy you radiate to the people around you. When you believe in your own wholeness and strength, your posture shifts, your presence expands, and your entire being vibrates with confidence and clarity. People notice it, they feel it. This is why women who embrace their own power often inspire, lead, and heal effortlessly, because their internal belief system is broadcasting a signal of possibility to the world. But the key is awareness and intentionality. It is not enough to passively hope that your body will respond positively. You must actively cultivate beliefs that serve you, practice thoughts that empower you, and consistently reinforce the vision of the person you want to become. Visualization, affirmations, meditation, and mindful attention are not just spiritual exercises, they are biological tools that can literally rewire your brain and body. Every time you imagine health, success, love, or strength, your neurons fire in patterns that prepare your body to embody those realities. This is not magic, it is the science of how your inner world shapes your outer life. So, women, understand this. Your beliefs are not just ideas, they are forces that sculpt your physical reality. When you shift your thoughts, when you cultivate empowering beliefs, and when you trust in your own potential, your body will follow. It will align with the life you envision, respond to the energy you project, and support the person you are becoming. You are not at the mercy of circumstance or genetics. You are the architect of your own biology. Your mind, your belief system, and your body are allies, and when you consciously harness this alignment, you unlock a power that is both miraculous and unstoppable. Feminine energy is creation itself, a force so powerful that it has shaped the course of humanity from the very beginning. This energy is not merely about softness or gentleness. It is about the profound ability to bring ideas, dreams, and transformations into existence. Women carry within them the innate power to nurture, to birth life, to heal, and to inspire. And yet, for far too long, society has misunderstood and underestimated this power, often labeling it as secondary or less significant than force or aggression. But the truth is that creation, in its most authentic and transformative form, always comes from the feminine energy within, because it is the energy that can envision, incubate, and bring forth life in every dimension, physical, emotional, and spiritual. Consider for a moment the invisible ways women shape the world every day. A single woman's vision, love, and determination can transform families, communities, and entire movements. Feminine energy is not passive, it is quietly relentless, persistent, and deeply transformative. It is the energy that builds nations, inspires art, advances science, and nurtures generations. When a woman learns to consciously harness this energy, she becomes unstoppable, not because she imitates power in its conventional form, but because she aligns with the natural flow of creation, intuition, and influence. This is the kind of power that moves silently yet profoundly, touching lives in ways that are enduring and far reaching. Feminine energy also holds the power of receptivity. It is not only about giving and creating outwardly, but also about being open to receive inspiration, love, wisdom, and abundance. A woman who embraces her feminine energy understands the balance of giving and receiving, of action and surrender. She recognizes that creation does not always come through force, but often through flow, trust, and alignment with a higher intelligence. This energy allows her to cultivate vision, to see possibilities where others see obstacles, and to manifest outcomes that honor both her desires and the greater good. Another essential aspect of feminine energy is its ability to transform challenges into opportunities for growth. Women who are connected to this energy do not simply react to hardship, they respond creatively, intuitively, and with resilience that transcends the ordinary. The feminine energy can bend without breaking, adapt without losing essence, and radiate love and strength even in the midst of chaos. This is why women have historically been the unsung heroes, the unseen pillars of communities, and the catalysts of profound change. The power of the feminine is not always visible in loud declarations. It is visible in the life she builds, the relationships she nurtures, and the inspiration she imparts to others simply by being aligned with her authentic self. So, woman, recognize this within yourself. Your feminine energy is your birthright, your superpower, and your guiding force. It is not something to be hidden, diminished, or controlled by external expectations. It is the force of creation, intuition, that transformation that flows through you naturally, ready to shape your life and the world around you. When you step fully into this energy, you move from a life of reaction to a life of creation, from limitation to possibility, and from survival to extraordinary impact. This is the essence of your strength, the core of your influence, and the truth of who you are meant to be. Silence the inner critic, for it is one of the most powerful obstacles standing between a woman and the life she is capable of creating. That small, persistent voice inside that whispers, "You are not enough, you will fail," or "You do not deserve this," is not your truth. It is a habit of thought, a learned pattern, a repetition of doubts and fears passed down or absorbed over time. The inner critic thrives on comparison, on fear, and on the stories of limitation you tell yourself. Yet, it is entirely within your power to recognize it, to confront it, and to replace it with a voice of wisdom, encouragement, and possibility. Every time you silence that critical voice, you reclaim energy, focus, and power that has been scattered and diminished by self-doubt. For many women, the inner critic is relentless because society has conditioned you to believe that your value is contingent upon performance, appearance, or approval from others. You are taught to measure yourself against unrealistic standards, to apologize for taking up space, and to question your own worth. But the truth is that you are inherently valuable, whole, and deserving of respect and love just as you are. The inner critic only gains influence when you give it attention and permission. Once you become aware of it, you realize that it is simply a habit, not an unchangeable fact. You can change it, retrain it, and ultimately transform it into a source of guidance rather than condemnation. Silencing the inner critic is not about denial or pretending that you are perfect. It is about observing the voice without judgment, understanding its origins, and consciously choosing which thoughts you will feed and which you will release. When you begin to do this, a remarkable shift occurs. The energy that was once spent on self-doubt is redirected toward creation, action, and growth. You start to notice opportunities to take bold steps and to embrace challenges without the constant interference of fear or hesitation. The inner critic loses its power because you no longer give it authority over your mind or your life. This process also requires compassion toward yourself. Women often internalize criticism and turn it inward, becoming their own harshest judges. But to silence the inner critic, you must speak to yourself as you would to a beloved friend, with kindness, encouragement, and patience. Affirm your worth. Celebrate your progress. Recognize your efforts and your resilience. The more you practice self-compassion, the less room there is for self-judgment to take hold. Over time, this practice rewires your brain, creating new neural pathways that reinforce self-belief, confidence, and inner peace. The power of silencing the inner critic goes beyond your personal growth. It affects every aspect of your life. When you no longer allow self-doubt to dictate your choices, you step into leadership, creativity, and influence. You make decisions from clarity rather than fear. You speak your truth unapologetically. You pursue your goals with courage and determination because you finally understand that your worth is intrinsic, not conditional. The voice of empowerment replaces the voice of criticism, and in doing so, you unlock a life of possibility, freedom, and extraordinary impact. So, woman, hear this clearly: the inner critic is not your enemy. It is a signal, a habit that can be transformed. When you choose to observe it, confront it, and ultimately quiet it, you reclaim the most essential power. You have the power to believe in yourself, to act from your highest truth, and to create a life that reflects your infinite worth and potential. Your mind is yours to command, and when you master this voice within, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Stand in your worth, for it is the foundation upon which every meaningful life is built. Too often, women underestimate the value they carry simply by existing, allowing the world, circumstances, or even their own doubts to dictate how they perceive themselves. Yet your worth is not conditional upon achievements, appearances, or the approval of others. It is intrinsic, unchanging, and deeply woven into the fabric of who you are. When you fully recognize this truth, a remarkable transformation occurs. You no longer seek validation from outside sources because you have discovered the most important validation of all, your own. Standing in your worth means claiming your space unapologetically, speaking your truth without hesitation, and living a life aligned with your highest potential. Many women have been socialized to minimize themselves, to step back so others can shine, to apologize for taking up space, and to doubt their own abilities. But when you begin to truly understand and embody your worth, you break free from these invisible chains. You realize that your presence matters, your voice matters, and your contributions matter. The moment you stop shrinking and start standing fully in your power, you change the dynamics of every room you enter. People respond differently to you, opportunities align differently, and your life begins to reflect the value that you have long carried within. Worth is magnetic, and when you honor it, the world cannot help but notice. Standing in your worth also means honoring your boundaries and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. It means having the courage to say no to situations, relationships, or opportunities that do not serve your growth, your health, or your joy. It means prioritizing your needs without guilt, trusting that when you honor yourself, the universe aligns to support you. A woman who stands in her worth does not compromise her integrity or diminish her light to make others comfortable. Instead, she radiates confidence, clarity, and grace, creating an environment where respect and authenticity are natural responses. Furthermore, standing in your worth allows you to pursue your dreams boldly. When you recognize that you are deserving of success, love, and happiness, fear loses its grip. You take actions that reflect your true potential, make choices that align with your purpose, and invest your energy in endeavors that honor your value. Every step you take from this place of worth is empowered, intentional, and transformative. You no longer operate from scarcity, doubt, or self-criticism. You operate from abundance, confidence, and self-belief. Your worth also influences the people around you. By standing fully in your value, you set a standard for how others should treat you. You teach through your example that respect, love, and appreciation are non-negotiable. You inspire other women to recognize their own worth and to step into their own power. This is the ripple effect of standing in your worth. It elevates not only your life, but the lives of everyone you touch. So, woman, hear this deeply: standing in your worth is not arrogance. It is truth. It is the recognition that you are a unique, powerful, and irreplaceable force in the world. It is the key to living authentically, boldly, and unapologetically. When you claim your worth, you no longer wait for permission, validation, or approval. You step into the fullness of your being and create a life that reflects the extraordinary value that has always been yours. There is no greater act of courage, love, or power than this. Your strength is love, and it is the most profound, transformative power you will ever possess. This is not the conditional love that depends on circumstances, approval, or recognition. It is a deep, unwavering, unconditional love that begins within you and radiates outward, touching everything and everyone around you. Many women underestimate the force of this love because it is gentle, quiet, and often unseen. Yet it is precisely this quality that makes it unstoppable. Love is the energy that heals wounds, dissolves fear, and rebuilds what has been broken. When you embody this strength, you create ripples that extend far beyond your immediate surroundings, influencing families, communities, and even generations to come. Love as a source of strength begins with self-acceptance and self-compassion. When you learn to love yourself fully, embracing every imperfection, every scar, every part of your journey, you cultivate an energy that cannot be diminished by the opinions, actions, or judgments of others. This inner love creates a foundation of power that allows you to give, to nurture, and to support without losing yourself in the process. You no longer seek to be loved as a means of validation because you are already whole. Your strength comes from the deep well of love within you, and from this well you are able to act, to create, and to inspire. This love is also a force of courage. It enables you to face challenges, to rise above adversity, and to continue forward even when the world seems to conspire against you. When guided by love, your actions are intentional, aligned, and transformative. You approach relationships, work, and personal growth not from fear or scarcity, but from a place of abundance and possibility. Love gives you the resilience to forgive, the wisdom to see beyond immediate circumstances, and the vision to create outcomes that reflect your highest values. It is not passive, it is dynamic, active, and powerful beyond measure. Furthermore, the strength of love allows you to lead by example. People are drawn to those who embody love because it is magnetic, inspiring, and transformative. A woman who operates from this energy teaches others through her presence that life is not about struggle, control, or dominance, but about connection, compassion, and growth. Her influence is profound because it does not demand compliance or recognition. It simply exists, radiating truth, authenticity, and empowerment. Through her love, she uplifts, heals, and empowers others to step into their own power. Love also transcends fear. Many women hold back because they fear rejection, judgment, or failure. But when your strength is rooted in love, these fears lose their grip. You act boldly, speak your truth unapologetically, and pursue your purpose without hesitation. Love gives you the courage to face uncertainty with grace, the patience to endure hardship without bitterness, and the clarity to make choices aligned with your highest good. It transforms obstacles into opportunities, challenges into lessons, and setbacks into catalysts for growth. Finally, the strength of love is eternal. It is the energy that connects you to something greater than yourself, to the source of creation, to the infinite potential within and around you. It is the force that moves the universe, the glue that holds relationships together, and the power that sustains life itself. When you embrace this love fully, you realize that true strength is not measured by force, control, or dominance, but by the capacity to love deeply, authentically, and unconditionally. This is your superpower, your legacy, and your most profound contribution to the world. Woman, understand this with every fiber of your being. Your strength is love. It is fierce, it is transformative, and it is unstoppable. When you step fully into this truth, there is no limit to the healing, growth, and impact you can create. You are not only powerful, you are love itself in motion, shaping the world, elevating others, and leaving a legacy that will endure far beyond your lifetime. Your full speech, with all 10 points expanded, now forms a complete, immersive motivational talk in the style of Dr. Joe Dispenza, ready to deliver to an audience with flow, depth, and impact.